Welcome to another episode of the Sports World with Patrik. So today we're going to go ahead and talk about the EWHL, which is the European Women's Hockey League. So, of course, the EWHL is the European Women's Hockey League. It was started in 2004 by the International Ice Hockey Federation, and it does have multiple different clubs different clubs from all of Central Europe, and of course there is just one team from Kazakhstan in this. Now, when it was originally created, it was called the Elite Women's Hockey League. It has since then been renamed into the European Women's Hockey League, sort of to allow for it to offer its unique name of being part of Europe. Of course, they do have that one team out in Kazakhstan. Now, of course, this was created to, of course, compete with all of the SDHL, which we talked about last week, and the SDHL, the Swedish Women's Hockey League. Of course, when this was created, there were a few teams that were featured in it, which was from different countries. Of course, Austria, Hungary, Italy, and Slovakia were part of the original EWHL, which was named the Elite Women's Hockey League and got renamed to the European Women's Hockey League in order to showcase that it had multiple teams from different countries, of course, as it's been covered before. There have been additional teams that have joined since then from Slovakia, Croatia, the Czech Republic, and so of course, Germany is also in this at the time. It did have a team in it, and then it sort of left. The Netherlands had a team in here, and they left also. So, of course, like I mentioned, in 2004, this was created as the Elite Women's Hockey League by the IHF, the International Ice Hockey Federation. Of course, as time has went on, teams have come and gone from this league. It is located in its headquarters is located in Austria. Now, the Hungarian Ice Hockey Federation has taken over the league and is sort of overseeing everything. Of course, it does have its president, Martin Kogler, who oversees all the operations for the EWHL. Of course, they did have the Polish team, a women's Polish team join called Celestia Bracken, and then of course they then got renamed to the Sesian Metropolis Katowice. And of course, there was a Hungarian team, two Hungarian teams that rejoined from the league, including the KMH Budapest, and of course, the MOC Budapest were added. Of course, they do have a championship as normal. They do have the EWHL Super Cup, which is given to the winner of the tournament of that particular country, or to the particular team that has it. Of course, they have had a few teams, so let me go over to some of the former teams that they have had. So in Austria, they did have the DEC Dragons, Klagenfurt, the EHV Sabres Vienna, the Southern Stars, the SPG Sabres and Flyers United, and the EWEV Flyers. Those were all Austrian teams that have now officially left. They did have a team from Belarus called the HK Pantera Minsk. The Croatian team of KHL Grink Zagreb. From the Czech Republic, the hockey club of Slavia Para. Denmark was Denmark had the team of Henvi Dorg, International Club. IK. Germany had the ESG Plagen Wurmottel and the OS Ladies Berlin. Hungary did have two teams that did leave from it, including the Budapest Stars and the Maryland Budapest. Italy had the hockey club of Aragordo, the hockey club of the Eagle Bolenzio. From the Netherlands, they did have the Netherlands women's national team. The Slovakia had four teams previously in this group, including the the hockey club of Slovan Bratislava, the hockey club of Spinka Nova Ves, the MHK Martin, the ZK Papard. Slovenia had five teams in this, including HDK Maribor, HK Gorenskaya, HK Olympia La Jubilana, HK Tempe Terme Maber, and HK Trigal Connery. Of course, those were all of the former teams in them. The current teams at the moment that are in the KHL, of course, like I mentioned, the countries that are in it at the moment. Poland has a team in it. Hungary has a few teams in it. Austria has a few teams in it. Slovakia still has a team in it. Italy, and of course, Kazakhstan. Of course, so let me go ahead and sort of give you the names for it. So the only team out of the Kazakhstan is the ISO Almaty, based out of Almaty, Kazakhstan. Of course, they play out of the Balayan Sholak Sports Palace in Kazakhstan. Next, you have the Budapest Yekorong Academia out of Budapest. Hungary, they play in the Tüske Sátor. Next is the DEC Salzburg Eagles. They play out of Salzburg, Austria. And of course, their home venue is the SC Arena Salzburg. Next is the EC Graz Huskies out of Graz, Austria. Their home venue is Merkur Estadanon. Next is the EVB Eagles of Strudatrillo. They play out of Bolzano, Italy. They play at the Plana Ondado. Next is the HC SKP Bratislava, playing out of Bratislava, Slovakia. They play out of the Zimny Stadion Valmira Dzurlio in Slovakia. Next is the Hockey Club Budapest. Playing out of Budapest, they play in the same arena as the Budapest Yekorong Academia in Tüske Sátor. Next is the KHV Lakers out of Villamach. They play out of the Heidi Horton Arena in Klagenkurf. Next, of course, is the KSV Nürburger Highlanders, playing out of Nürburger on the Mers, out of Isala Kopfenberg. Next is the Mok Budapest, playing out of Budapest, Hungary, and they play at Kisantord Dion. Next, of course, is the SKN Sabres St. Polton out of then they play out of St. Polton, Missouri, not Missouri, Austria, and of course they play out of the Sports Zentrum. No, and of course the very last team. This team is the Tarun Metropolia Celesta, playing out of Katowice, Poland, playing out of the Oser Bytram. Of course, the last few years, they sort of give you the gold placements. The very last champion for this year in the 2023-2024 was the HC SBK Barishova. They beat the Hockey Club Budapest. So let me sort of give you an overview based on from all their seasons. So let me start off with their first year, of course, 2004. The EHV Sabres won the gold medal that year in the league with only 8 teams. Next was the Austrian team, EHV Sabres. Next was from Slovakia. Or no, I'm sorry, Slovenia. Slovenia. Slovenia had their the silver medal that year with the HK Terme Maribor winning the silver, and in third was the HK Argodoro from Italy. Actually, give me a second. Let me actually give it to you this way. So, based on the countries who have won in the EWHL, so the EWHL by nation. I'm sorry, I sort of got confused there for a minute. But so by nation, the country with the least amount of medals is Kazakhstan. They are 9th out of all 9 teams. They have not won a gold medal. They do have a silver and 2 bronze, totaling for a total of 3. Slovenia sits at 8 with no gold, 2 silvers, and 1 bronze, for a total of 3. Next is Belarus. Of course, Belarus does not have a team anymore in the EWHL. They do have 1 gold medal, no silver, and 1 bronze, for a total of 2 medals. Yeah. Next would be the Czech Republic. They do have. I'm sorry. I had the order wrong on this one, sorry. So the team with the least amount of medals would be Belarus. Next would be Czech Republic, with having just 2 gold medals, no silver, and no bronze. Of course, they don't have any more teams there. And of course, we just talked about Slovakia and Slovenia. Next would be Germany. They sit in the 6th spot. They do have 1 gold, 1 silver, and 2 bronze, for a total of 4 medals. In 5th is Italy with 2 gold, 2 silver, and 3 bronze, for a total of 7 medals in the EWHL. And then in 3rd was Slovakia with 3 golds, 2 silvers, and 3 bronzes, for a total of 8. And of course, 2nd is Hungary. Hungary has 5 gold, 3 silvers, 2 bronze, for a total of 10 medals. And then of course Austria is number 1 at the moment, and they have 6 gold medals, 9 silvers, and 6 bronzes, for a total of 21 medals. Of course, with the PWHL here in the United States, the Professional Women's Hockey League, it will be interesting to see if with the SDHL how diluted they will become, and how diluted will this EWHL is. Players will try to make their way over to the PWHL, and as the PWHL grows, of course, there will be a need for more players, or will some of these players who are currently in the EWHL sort of stay in the EWHL? It'll be interesting to see. Of course, the next season should be starting up here very soon for the EWHL, in more than likely sitting in about a few weeks. we'll start to see the schedules come out for the teams, and of course that should give us a better feel for how that's going to look. Of course, we do have to wait for the PWHL draft later on in June to see how many players from the EWHL and the SDHL will depart from there to go to the PWHL. Of course, thank you for listening to this episode. This episode is a little shorter, so thank you for listening. Of course, next we'll cover the German Women's Hockey League, which is the DFEL. Thank you.